Hello, troopers. I'd like to welcome you to Radio Aposta Punk. Brought to you by Unky Punky Vast Apostate Army. Alright, here's my challenge to Jehovah's Witnesses. Prove, by using the scriptures only, and not some claims of men, that Jesus chose the organisation in 1919. When I talk about a claim, I'm talking about such things as J.F. Rutherford and his band of merry men being released from prison. Prove that using scripture. Prove it that J.F. Rutherford is actually mentioned in the Bible and his band of merry compatriots were released. I don't think you'll be able to do it, which makes it look a bit odd, doesn't it? The claims of men. These are just men who are making claims. And if you say, yeah, well, they're just imperfect men, they get it wrong like the apostles did. All right, here's another challenge, okay? Which parts of the Bible had to be rewritten because those men got it wrong? Okay? Just thought I'd ask those little questions, my chickadees, because we do want you to wake up from the filth of the organisation, from its lies. It's just a scam, and we want you, Jehovah's Witnesses, to wake up because we care for you, because we were you. We know the predicament you're in. We know that you have an authentic self, the real person that you are, and you're battling against this company image you've got to put up all the time. So please, consider these things. Wake up. Wake up. The claims of men that cannot be substantiated by biblical evidence. For instance, your old favourite, Matthew 24:45. Alright, so it talks about faithful steward, a faithful and discreet slave, according to the not well translated, the New World Translation. It does not say that that would be men in Brooklyn, America. There is no evidence to prove that anywhere, and if you carry on reading, it shows what will happen if that so-called faithful slave turns bad. So evidence. Irrefutable evidence, please. Not just claims, not saying, oh, well, they had an assembly at Cedar Point, Ohio. I don't care what they did. The Latter Day Saints probably did something similar. The Buddhists probably did something similar. It doesn't prove a thing. Those events prove absolutely nothing because they cannot be substantiated by biblical evidence. Give it a thought, my brothers and sisters, and please wake up to that scam that is the Watchtower. Consider, why is it they want your money? Why is it they're moving out of Brooklyn? Why is it they're putting money and gambling in hedge funds, something you're not allowed to do? You're not allowed to gamble. Just consider these things. They're just imperfect men that want your money when you die. They don't give a monkeys about you. They don't give a monkeys about your family. They want your inheritance when you die. Yeah, just think, alright, so you think of the governing body. Who are they? They're just CEOs of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're not religious men. They're businessmen. Duh. And they want your money. Why? Because they're not religious men, they're businessmen. If they weren't businessmen, and if they were religious men, they'd be relying totally on Jehovah God. He obviously isn't being very kind to them if they're having to beg you for your money. So just consider these things, my friends. We want you free. We want you free. Honestly. Really, 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 really do. Now let's insert a sound effect. So, are Jehovah's Witnesses false prophets? Well, yeah. I mean, people argue that they're not, but let's put it this way. Has Armageddon come yet? Alright, I'll admit I was too young to remember what happened in 1914. In fact, I wasn't even too young. I wasn't even born. 1914, 1925, all the other dates, but I do remember 1975. I lived through it. I remember them saying that Armageddon would definitely be here. They did. It was said from the platform. It was hinted in the books, and it was actually said from the platform and in book studies all over the place. Well, of course, we know that then the Borg turned round and said, well, they shouldn't have said that. We didn't say that. Yeah, well, you did actually. You did. You want to check that out on YouTube. It's really interesting listening to some of the audio of some of the old talks. Fred Franz. I'm sure the guy was potty. That's what happens. You put a loony in control. And, you know, the loonies have taken over the asylum. I think that's what happened since. So you had the lunar year going to 1975. And we've got the stay alive till 75. Charles, what's his face? So yeah, they did say it. But we had a lot of speculation after that. I remember somebody was saying, oh, add 25 years to 1975, which is a generation, then you get Armageddon, or add whatever it is to 1975, or 1914 even, and you get Armageddon. Oh, Armageddon! That's going to lovingly murder everybody. Anyway, so there was all that bunk going on. But honestly, let me ask you, is Armageddon here yet? Is it? In fact, I'm not going to go over to the atheist front. I'm not going to go over to the Christian front. I'm just going to keep neutral as possible. But when did Jesus say about Armageddon? Well, I don't even think he even mentioned Armageddon, did he really? But when did he say about tribulation? Well, 1st century, yeah. When was Revelation written? Long time ago. How many years have they been saying Armageddon's coming? Well, I wouldn't mind saying that even before Charles Taze as a Rissole got it into his little head that he was going to be raptured in 1914 or whatever, that there had been different religious denominations and leaders talking that old bunk over the years, even before he came along with it. Wouldn't mind betting. What say you, my darlings? Anyway, I thought Aposta Punk Radio would cogitate about this. So, here's a question. Is Armageddon here yet? Today is the 21st of February 2012. It's a Tuesday. Armageddon still isn't here. So, if this survives another 20, 30, 40 years, what I'm saying now, check in again. Check in again. I mean, I probably won't be here. I'll have shuffled off the mortal coil. I'll have gone to heaven, hell, or just dog food. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not going to pretend I do. But Aposta Punk Radio asks the question, is Armageddon here yet? If not, why not? Because you said it was going to come a long time ago, Jehovah's Witnesses. Or is it just that there was lunatics in control of the asylum, and probably still are? Over and out, army artists. Oh no, that's a pirate. Well, it could be an apostle pirate. Well, maybe not.